Hello, Brandon Johnston. Welcome to TCM. I'm so glad to be with you today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You are the creator behind a TikTok channel called Hollywood History, which is so fun. It has over 250,000 followers. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Why do you think TikTok is such a great venue for what you're doing and for classic film lovers?
I think TikTok is uniquely accessible to a younger audience in a way that none of the other social media platforms are. So my audience on TikTok is between the ages of 18 and 30, and that is not normally the demographic that most classic media channels are reaching with this type of content. So for me, it's a way to bring people in, teach about these films and about film history, and do it in a way that connects to them and isn't, it doesn't make them feel like it's inaccessible.
How interesting. How and why did you start doing this?
I started it during COVID because I was just sitting at home, and a friend sent me a video of misinformation about The Wizard of Oz, that's how I'll put it. And she was like, I think you could do this much better. You should just make a video. It had like 2 million views. And so I put out a video, and then I was like, oh, weird, that got a lot of views. And I was sitting at home just reading books about Hollywood history because I live here, I'm an actor, I love history. I was just like, well, that's what I'm interested in right now. And so as I would read more, I started making more videos about things I thought would connect with young people, and it did. And so I just kept going and kept going. And yeah, it was a couple years of doing it very, very consistently. Yeah, I'm always looking for the connection of how we can bring these films into the present.
And also, what a great way for you to continue to learn about classic film yourself and research and watch things as you're teaching us and your young audience about these people and these films.
Yeah, I have definitely seen more classic films than I ever had before. I always say that I was raised on 3 things: Antiques Roadshow, TV Land, and Turner Classic Movies. So I did have a lot of experience with classic films growing up, but now I look at them in a totally different way.
Huh. Well, you've chosen a great one for us to watch tonight, All That Heaven Allows from 1955, directed by Douglas Sirk and starring Jane Wyman and Rock Hudson. Why is this the film that you wanted us to watch together?
I think it's a fascinating piece because it is so lush, so beautiful, Technicolor piece of candy. But then you have Douglas Sirk, a German director, really critiquing American society and the way that we interact with each other. And to me, this film is especially fascinating because right now, the younger generations are having a lot of discourse around like age gaps in relationships.
Yes, they are.
And this is a film about age gaps in relationships that is nearly 70 years old and just as relevant today. How can we look at different people and say, you can do this or you can't do this? And this film does that, and you can decide who you side with after watching it.
Well, I have to say, for me, the classic films that I find myself loving the most are often these society films about people who want to be together but can't be. I mean, I'm thinking of The Razor's Edge, or I don't know, The Heiress, or a movie like this. There's just something about that idea, that plot line, that I just love more than any kind of epic, more than any kind of action or history. I love these kind of films. Are you the same?
I agree, and I think that there is something so fascinating about having a gay actor making one of these films. You can just read into so many different layers of Rock Hudson doing this and questioning how he was relating it to his own life and what he's able to do and not do at the time.
I'm sorry, I want to live in that mill house with Rock Hudson. That fireplace, I want to just sit by it.
Yeah, I need to know who the contractors were and how they got that work done that quickly, but yeah, it's incredible.
That last scene, even concussed and right out of an unconscious state, he still looks impeccable.
Oh yeah, better than ever. That deer had to come and take a look.
Right.
He heard.
I mean, for God's sake, Ron even sings and plays the piano. How is this man single?
Yeah, well, he has all the women around him, and Jane notices that.
Right, exactly. Are there other Douglas Sirk movies that you really love? I mean, so many of his Technicolor films are so great.
Written on the Wind, just, it has a little more of the camp factor to it. That staircase scene, without giving anything away, is something to be seen. I just love his collaborations with Ross Hunter. I think Ross Hunter said, I only want to show the beautiful parts of life, something along those lines. And it was like gorgeous jewels, dresses, women, and melodrama. And he certainly does that with Douglas Sirk. So.
Yeah. Before the movie, we talked about this kind of subgenre, if you will, of, couples that can't be together for whatever societal reason. There's another subsection of films that I often like, which is horrible young adult children. So I would say Mildred Pierce or Imitation of Life. These kids are the worst.
These kids are the worst. They're worse than both of those films, I think. You think that her daughter is going to be accepting at first. You're like, oh, this is a young modern woman. And you see her just revert completely back to exactly what society wants out of her when she comes in the red dress, but hers is more modest than her mother's. You're like, oh, God.
Oh, it's awful. In general, when you're putting your Hollywood history TikTok videos together, are you thinking to yourself, oh, this one's gonna really take off, or this one's gonna be more a niche, or are you surprised by what seems to take off? I mean, there's videos on your channel that have over 1 million views or almost 1 million views. What surprises you?
I'm often surprised when something takes off and it was about maybe a star that I didn't think people would connect with. I think William Haynes is a great example because a lot of people have never heard his name before. But then when you start to talk a little bit about his story, it's like, okay, this guy was doing some pretty remarkable things at the time and he deserves to be known. I don't try to think about what will be a hit. I think about what connects with me when I'm reading or watching something and then kind of just go down that alley, keep going and figure out, okay, where is a good start to this? I'm also thinking in extreme short form, so it's 1 minute to 3 minutes, and how can I tell a story that fits within those parameters? So
I'd also be curious to know, once you post a video, how do you engage with it at that point? Are you the kind of person who thinks, I'm done with it, I've put it up, that's it? Or are you actively going in and seeing what the response is, what the comments are, and so forth?
I'll engage with the videos for a short period of time, but after a certain time, social media is so toxic that I'm like, I'm gonna step away. This now exists. It is no longer I don't own it anymore. The audience owns it, they can watch it. I feel like directors have kind of talked about films in the same way, and I've learned this level of detachment where I'm like, I cannot defend every single thing here, and I'll let other people have their own conversations. But that's the great part too, is people are having their own conversations. And so you have older audience members kind of debating with younger audience members, and it's very interesting and enlightening to see where they overlap and where they completely disagree.
Well, Brandon, you do great work, so I congratulate you on everything that you're doing, and I thank you for helping us with this special night tonight.
Thank you for having me.